Hello, and welcome to Winging It, the show where I just decide to wing things to cook them. Today is a pretty special one. We're cooking 24-hour ribs inside of a sous vide. These are, to me, the best way to make ribs. They are the most like fall off the bone, tender, just amazing way to make ribs. Second only to really like a good smoker, but it's a little too cold out, and it is honestly sometimes even better with these because there is nothing like the texture of sous vide ribs. Um, Now, obviously, these being 24-hour ribs, I'm not starting it right now. I took a video early yesterday after I did the tuna video. I actually then restarted the sous vide for these ribs, and I took that video. Fortunately, when I took that video, I did not have this headset in. So because I didn't have this headset in, I had no audio. Bad news there. Good news, did record the video. Video was fine. Was able to take that video, cut it up upstairs on my computer, and record a voiceover. Now, bad news for me is that might have been my highest produced video of all time now from all these cooking videos, and I'm gonna look like shit in comparison because that one had editing and everything in it, so there was less ums and ahs. But there are some ums and ahs. I can't stop that shit. But there's also a lot less fumbling around because I cut that shit out. Anyway, I'm gonna transfer over to me from yesterday, and me from this morning is gonna explain what exactly is going on. So, without further ado, head over to the video.
All right, so what I'm doing here is I'm taking a pork rib right out of the bag, and I'm gonna be spicing this up. First thing we have to do is dry off the pork rib. Always work with dry meat. And now I'm gonna be trying to remove the membrane on the back of the pork rib. What I'm doing here is scoring the pork rib with a knife. Then I'm grabbing the membrane with a paper towel so that I get a grip on it to grip it off. Pretty hard process, but it's actually worth it. It makes the eating experience a lot better. You don't have to deal with these bad pieces of membrane while you're eating. So that's all set, and so now we'll get to spicing it. So I'm putting this on a plate because it's going to be a wet and a dry spice. So first thing I'm going to do is put together the wet spice using some of this Simple Glow Carolina barbecue sauce. It's a zero carb stevia based barbecue sauce, really good. Some Frank's Red Hot to give it an extra kick to that Carolina sauce. And some liquid smoke to give the ribs that smoky flavor that you get on a smoker. I mean, it's not a perfect substitute, but it's actually pretty good. So I'm mixing this together in a little dish, and I'm going to give this a taste right about here. And I'm going to realize not enough smokiness, so I'm going to take some of the liquid smoke and put it back in. Put in a little more in. Mixing that together, giving that a taste. Right about now. And yeah, it starts tasting good. So now I'm going to be using my fingers to basically wipe this sauce all over these ribs. Every single side. You want to get every little nook and cranny on these. It's so the reason we're doing the wet rub before the dry rub is the wet rub will actually help the dry rub adhere to the ribs itself. Alright, so next we're putting some salt on there, some pepper, some garlic powder once I'm able to get that open, some onion powder coming up very soon. There it is. And some cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper will give a more of a kick to it. And finally, smoked paprika to give a little more smokiness to it. See, all these flavors are complementing each other. It's all in the process of specifically the Carolina style barbecue, which is spicier barbecue than like a Texas style or whatever. So yeah, doing the same thing on the other side now, same spices. and paprika, I mean. And I pat it down and I try to wipe it across the sides so that we get the same flavor on all the sides. Alright, so now I'm taking the pork rib and I'm going to vacuum seal it against so that when we put it in the sous vide, it's airtight. So yeah, just and then I'm also grabbing that mesh there so that we can weigh down the pork rib in the sous vide. So I'm putting the pork rib into the plastic bag and I'm gonna vacuum seal it, and then I'm gonna throw it into the sous vide, which is currently sitting at 144 degrees. This is gonna be a 24-hour process, but it'll come out with the best ribs you'll ever have. So yep, got the vacuum sealed bag with the pork rib in it, wrapped up in the chainmail. Then I just plop it in. That's all there is to it. Thumbs up.
All right, so yeah, that's what you were just seeing is what I was doing 24 hours earlier. The ribs are ready right now, but first thing we're gonna do before we grab the ribs, they can stay in that bath for a little longer, is we're gonna make our side, which I'm just gonna make some zucchini spears that we can dunk into a barbecue sauce that we're gonna be making later on. So yeah, this is gonna be a very simple thing. I'm just gonna be cutting this into a few spears, just take it off the ends, moving these aside, slicing it in half. Slice it in half again, and slice it in half a third time. Then I slice these ones in half lengthwise. Or widthwise, whatever. You saw what I did. Alright. Yeah. This is just going to be something simple. We're going to put it on some of the same flavor profiles on these so that they complement the barbecue sauce. And you get a little extra color than green. Alright. And there we go. So now we're just going to take these. We're going to salt them. Pepper them. A little bit of garlic powder. And a little bit of smoked paprika. That's all I really need on these. Then we mix them up. Now let's go over to the oven. And by oven, I mean stovetop. Alright, so pan here, I'm just going to have this preheat. I already had it preheating a little before, but it started smoking, so I turned it off. And we're just going to throw a little bit of olive oil in here. Wait for that to get a little hotter, then we're going to throw our spears in. Doing this first just because this is going to be the longest part. Cooking these spears. Alright, oil looks good. Taking that zucchini and just dropping it right in. Give them a mix around so they can get a little extra oil on themselves. And we'll just have this in here. This is being cooked at medium-high, by the way. I actually might want to turn this down to like a medium-high. Alright. So while those are cooking, let's do the pork ribs. Let's grab those from the sous vide, and we're gonna broil them to give them a nice crust on top. So let's head over to the sous vide. Come with me, and you'll see a bright light that I always forget to shut off. So I'm grabbing rubber glove because these are gonna be hot. This water is 144 degrees, so don't want to deal with that. Grabbing the metal mesh off first, forgot the towel. Now there's water everywhere. Now I'm grabbing the ribs from the pot. There we go. and drying them off. Let's get over to the cutting board. Wipe this down. Get it. Yep. All right. We have a pan here. Let's cut the. We're gonna cut this out and transfer the ribs from here to here. Oof. Cannot wait to see how these look. Careful, don't want them to fall apart. We're gonna. Oh, there goes all the juices. Careless whispers. All right. So now we're gonna make a barbecue sauce to brush on top of this before throwing it into the oven using, well, barbecue sauce as one of the bases. But because I need to get the oils, I'm gonna be putting some olive oil into this because none of the other sauces I'm using have any oils. So I'm using about a tablespoon and a half of olive oil because I also put olive oil into the zucchini being cooked. And now we're going to basically be making a similar thing that we did for the wet rub that we put on here. So, yep, the Carolina barbecue sauce, the Frank's Red Hot, some liquid smoke, we're also going to put a little garlic powder, and a little stevia for some sweetness. Then we just mix that all together. Probably going to have to put some salt in this too because of all the olive oil, but we'll see. Needs a little salt, definitely. Yep, that's it. All right. Now, for this one, I'm actually going to be using a brush because I want to soften it on. I want it to be very wet versus just a wet rub where it was just trying to get on the skin itself. So, taking that brush, brushing this on, trying to get it nice and moist. Yep, nice and moist. Remember, there's no mistakes, only happy little accidents. Alright, that should be good. Now we're going to be bringing this and we're going to be putting it under the broiler. Now, this toaster oven I have has a broiler on it, so that's why I'm just using this. But, yeah, another thing you can do is you can finish these on the grill, but I didn't feel like setting the grill today, so into the broiler they go. It's going to take maybe 5-10 minutes at most to develop a really good crust. And now we have the rest of this barbecue sauce for dipping our zucchini in and our ribs. Actually just stirring the zucchini now. Trying to get it cooked on each side evenly. Let me show you what I'm doing. I mean, that's what the entire point of these videos, right? That I show you what I'm doing. So yeah, if you see, this is what it looks cooked on one side, and I'm just trying to move everything so that we are cooking it each on one side. Come on, there we go. You can do it. There you go. Alright. Just trying to move some of the oil around the pan too. Come on. There we go. Don't you wish you could see editing videos again? Especially because you gotta be sitting here watching the zucchini while everything cooks because there's nothing really else to do right now. I'll just go get a plate. Yeah. Guess I can just say be right back. Any cocktails I want to make? No. Yeah, I don't have any egg white. I would have made a BBQ salad, but I don't have any egg white. Alright. Let's just go and be right back. And we'll come back in like 5 minutes. If my mouse wants to show up. Oh, mouse. There you are. No idea why I put it on be right back. The zucchini are done. So yeah, let me just grab the pan. I don't know why I'm grabbing the laptop, my band. So we got a plate here. Just grabbing the zucchini, put it on the plate. Turning off the oven. Don't want another fire today now, do we? Alright, zucchini are ready. So now I can do be right back because the ribs are gotta take another 5-10 minutes. What's 5 to 10 minutes after 24 hours, you know? Be right back. Alright, so ribs are done. I'm gonna be pulling them out of the broiler now, so let's go do that. We got them in the broiler here. Turn it off. Look at that nice color on them. Alright, let's plate them. Put that down. Gotta put you down. Grab these tongs. Still need this oven mitt. Place this on here. We'll then put the barbecue sauce on with it. Yeah, that's a good look. Alright. Gotta take a picture. You gotta move. How to get a good picture that works for both Instagram and YouTube. But I think that one will work. Alright. And all important taste test now. Gotta start with the sauce and the zucchini. Mmm. The smokiness is so good. Love liquid smoke. It's one of those like surprise ingredients that most people don't know about, I think. Alright, let's look at these ribs. Get you closer. Get the ribs closer. Because I want to show you how tender these things are. Look at that. Just falls off the bone. Mm. Oh, and they're so tender. Mm. So tender. And I got the meaty ones, so they're so meaty too. Mm. Let me show you what I'm doing. Mm. It's been cooking in those juices all day. So they're just so good. Not tough at all. Mm. Oh, that's my favorite way to eat ribs. But yeah, so I recommend do this if you can because you will not regret it at all. But that's gonna be it for today. Thank you for watching. Have a good night and keep eating good.